What made the "weird kid at your school" weird? He pooped himself regularly, deliberately. Man, what a power move. I respect that. End any argument with this one neat trick. He walked around like Master Chief. Even teabagged the ground randomly, all while holding an invisible assault rifle. I read that as Master Chef at first, and pictured Gordon Ramsay walking around teabagging the ground. Walks around inspecting other kids' lunches, and then shouting abuse when they aren't up to snuff. This Bologna is ducking raw. He truly thought he was a dirt bike. He would run through the halls jumping off of lockers, and make the shifting gears noises with his mouth. Absolute mad lad. Legit boss mentality, 100% alpha material right here. He always carried around a briefcase, but never opened it. Sat on the briefcase during lunch, classes, etc. It was like the nuclear football, always in his hand, or he was sitting on it. He carried it onto the stage during graduation, got his diploma. Right as he was leaving the stage, he opened it up and dumped a bunch of confetti on the principal. I guess it was the long con? No one questioned why he was carrying it on stage. Okay, if that was the real reason he brought it, that kid is epic. This man living in 3019. He would have full conversations, arguments, and sometimes physical altercations with a brick column in the middle of the cafeteria. Who usually won? I don't think anyone won those. They usually made up though, as they would chat like normal the next day. There was a kid at my high school who never talked. It wasn't that he couldn't speak, or that he only spoke to his close friends. He just wouldn't speak to anyone. Teachers didn't call on him because they knew he didn't talk. When a substitute would come in and try to call on him, there was always some kid who would have to explain Ricky doesn't talk. If you asked him a question, he would just look at you. It was weird, and some people would take offense to his silence. But eventually everyone realized that was just his thing and rolled with it. The only time he spoke was when we had to present individually in class. On those days people would get really excited if they had a class with him, because hearing him talk was like seeing a unicorn. Edit. A lot of people have mentioned this possibly being a case of selective mutism. I looked up the diagnosis, and it seems like a good match. There were also rumors from kids who rode the bus with him who said that once he got off the bus, he would meet up with his neighborhood friends and, presumably, talk to them. When he did present in class, he didn't have a weird voice or any strange vocal qualities. Weird. I didn't have any weird kids in school. Oh no. Yeah. As soon as I saw the question, I was disappointed I couldn't out the weird kid at my school. I was the weird kid at my school. He wrote his crush's name on the wall in the bathroom with his own poop. They caught him brown-handed. Also would freak out if someone said werewolf. Caught him brown-handed. Beautiful. He was always running around in the shape of Rate. If you just said hello to him, he started screeching and attacked you with his lunchbox, and once he ate a Kit Kat with the plastic. Heck, that makes the weird kid in my class look normal. He once ran into a random man at train station. The man wanted to help him get up, and he deadass put his school bag off, took his lunchbox out and smashed it into the man's face like WTF. She was afraid of cows, and if you said moo or mentioned cows, she'd freak out and attack you. I'll give it to her though, she'd even try to attack guys 3 times her size that were athletes. Sounds like she was milking it. Don't say that around her though. There is a kid at my school, and he can't put his laptop down. Eating lunch on his laptop as soon as he finishes a test on his laptop. And we were all wondering what he could put his laptop down for. So one kid asked him. He was designing Minecraft skins and watching Minecraft videos. What a legend. A future CEO. His go-to excuse for not having homework finished was that he was traveling, even though he was at every class, and he never paid attention to anything but his fidget spinner unless he was talking. The way he spoke, he knew everything there was about creative writing, yet his submissions consisted of plots ripped off directly from anime. This was in a college class. I don't think you understood him. When he said traveling, he meant through time. He keeps going back to the past, writing great stories to submit for class, and before he returns to the present he trips over an uneven brick and his original story flies out of his hand and is found by a Japanese man who turns it into an anime. Probably. I had a girl hiss at me in 5th grade. Hadn't seen her in about 16 years. recently went to a party she was attending. She asked if I remembered her and said boy howdy. She hissed again. I always knew she was weird. So she was 25 to 26 when she hissed at you the second time. Yes. Mustard boy. I'll never forget him. He would cover his lunch tray in mustard. Chicken nuggets. Mustard. Mexican pizza. Mustard. Breakfast for lunch. Mustard. It didn't matter what it was, he would drench it in mustard. He wasn't doing it just to make a mess of his lunch tray. He always finished his mustard food. Edit. Mexican pizza was a hexagon-shaped pizza with sausage and shredded taco seasoned cheese on top. It wasn't at all Mexican, but that's what it was called. So what exactly made him the weird kid? Seems perfectly normal. Edit. Thanks for giving me a Reddit award to match my mustard. They thought they were an immortal vampire and walked around talking and acting the part. Did he/she watch too much Buffy? Because I remember the I'm a real vampire fad from the early 2000s like a PTSD trigger from my high school years. The 2010s had Emerson Twilight. We had like 3 weird kids GBH. The first one was a guy that I saw pour an entire bottle of water onto a sandwich and then eat the sloppy mess, making weirdly appreciative noises. He's the one that ended up coming to school with a gun, but according to our school, handed himself into the police. The second was some kid that never showered, apparently had a Russian girlfriend who was pregnant, but he had no evidence of this girlfriend. Had some weird obsession with making stabby things out of anything. And lastly was this girl that literally just wanted to fight everyone, looked like a space raider, and said a shitload of racist and homophobic stuff. She ended up leaving the school after she picked a fight with the wrong person. My weird kid stood up at an assembly and asked the vice principal if she knew what hentai was. Edit. She did not comment on whether or not she did. He was just told to sit down because the students immediately started laughing. Sorry for the unsatisfying ending. I don't think he's weird. I think he was the meme lord. He ate playground gravel and used the urinal with his pants and underpants all the way down. Edit. Wow, this blew up. I guess I'll just add that the kid I'm talking about ate the gravel because apparently he thought it tasted like pizza, and that I distinctly remember one time when me and a bunch of other kids were huddled around the bathroom door watching him do his business, and I just remember that bare ass and how weird it was that someone would use the urinal like that. I've seen this at Disney. It was unnerving, especially considering he was about 30. There was a kid in my school who was obsessed with Mario. He had Mario sweatshirts and notebooks and a Mario backpack. Well, someone figured out that if you told him Mario is dead he'd flip, scream and cry duck, you know he's not every time. He got in trouble multiple times for attacking kids who said anything about Mario dying, even if they were talking about in the context of Smash Brothers or something. This happened 8th 10th grade, then I never saw him again. Luigi. She wore bat ears and a black cape and would scream her name while running down the hallway Goku style. Her name was Elizabeth, but she asked that she be called Lizard. Edit. Apparently there are thousands of lizards running around the US and we are 100% about it. Long live the Lizard Queen. Second edit. Yes, I meant Naruto. I'm anime illiterate. I apologize. Elizabeth. I had a few. One was obsessed with Asian culture, kind of random, since we lived in a very rural community in Canada with little connection to the outside world, let alone to Asia, and would lose her mind if anyone said anything remotely negative about it. It started out as mainly just a fixation on Pokemon, anime, and K-pop, but quickly branched out to all things Asian. She once hit me with a textbook because we were discussing M butterfly in class, and I said that I didn't like it. This was at age 16. Another kid used to pick his nose until it bleed and then go home because he had a nosebleed. He would also eat the boogers. We were all surprisingly chill about that part of his personality. The thing we all hated most about this kid is that he would lie about the most random stuff. Like he would deny that he got hit when playing dodgeball or caught when playing tag on the playground. One time my neighbor made me a little inukshuk glued to a piece of driftwood and I brought it to school to show the class. This kid picked it up in front of everyone, immediately dropped and broke it, and then denied that it was him that broke it, even though we had all literally watched him do it. He cried when we continuously called him out on it. This was also at age 16. Edited to added that the lying kid one time broke his arm and came to school in a sling. The next day the sling was on the opposite arm. Even the teacher called HM out on that one. He whistled, "Don't worry, be happy. Always." Man just had a hell of an earworm for 4 years.